YouTube, what the crap's going on? Heir of Carthage here, back in the Athens campaign, and on the last episode there was a crash, so this would be the autosave right before that crash happened. So that battle that you saw me fighting has yet to take place, and it's most likely that it's going to take place again, which you might be like, hey, are you going to make us watch that again? You may have to watch it again. I do apologize, because I'm going to go through it. But that means that if this is an autosave, I should be ready for a turn end. And let's just double check that though, because I have a bunch of funds and everything left, but I mean there's certain buildings that I am going to want to go ahead and spend the money on. Let's risk it. I mean my food supply is pretty darn stable, so not really concerned about it at the moment. Just run through here and see if there's any others that I want to affect the change on. I don't think there will be, because I should have already made these decisions. It looks like I did. And again, let's just double check and make sure I don't have any armies with movement points left that I do want to move. This one I'm leaving to stabilize. Looks like these units I've already used, and this one of course I'm using to chase down Spartans here in the area, and so it looks like I've, yep, done screwed those guys up. Byzantine army. So yeah, Corinth is still alive. And right now it looks like they just own... No, they do own this. They're being sieged by the Aetolian League. And then of course the Aetolian League owns this city-state there. So Corinth, though, does have a large number of troops considering the very meager holdings that it has, and the Boeotian League also just has its one left, but again, very large number of troops for such meager holdings. But that's the AI, and that's to be expected, and I put it on that challenge because it just makes it, you know, since I don't turn the battle challenge up to ludicrous, I like leaving the campaign difficulty up high because it just kind of helps to balance things out. So anyway, we've got to fight this Spartan army. It is going to be a pretty challenging feat, as they're going to be backed up by reinforcements from Elis. And so let's go ahead and get this taken care of. Spartan hoplites are superior to my own, though the terrain, of course, as you know, is going to be quite favorable to me. So if I use that favorable terrain, we ought to be able to accomplish what I want. And I think we know which direction Elis will be coming from. It is, however, rainy this time, which isn't particularly good since I'm going to be relying on skirmishers. Let's see. What I'm going to do is I'll just leave my main line. Let's actually create a main line of 5 hoplites. And then let's just use my militia hoplites against the forces that are going to be coming in from Elis. And let's go ahead and just get ready to bum rush them down here. And let's get my Thracian Peltis ready to support this.
Alright! Gotcha!
And that should be good because I can support with my cavalry as well. I'll bring 3 cav units over here to support. Again, just going to leave 1 over here to support these guys, and we're going to use the full advantage of this terrain. And I've got 4 archer units as well. So I'm going to leave the archer units here for now, as I feel pretty confident that I can overwhelm. It may not hurt to have the Cretan archers over here as well. I'll move them back whenever the time comes. And I have a couple of javelin men as well. Let's leave those guys up front here just to do some initial screening. It's going to be a while before the Spartans make it over here anyway.
Militia!
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
It's always kind of bothered me that the rain kind of makes the terrain look polished where the light bounces off of it. I was kind of hoping that'd be something they fix, but they have not. So there's another something for the patch, because I mentioned it in my latest online battle. That'd be another thing that I'd love to see in the patch. Just little things like that being cleaned up. It's not going to ruin the game or make it to where I never play it again, but just little things that could be done that would definitely improve the overall experience in the game. But don't get me wrong, I enjoy the overall experience of this game because obviously I play it quite a lot, and it's definitely something that I enjoy. Let's move my Peltis back a little here, and I'm going to shoot these. Well, actually, we don't need to shoot the javelin per se, but I'll go ahead and do so. I'm going to run down here and just force the javelin men back. Let's use my Cretan archers to good effect here, hopefully. We are wrecking the javelin men quite handily. And when they turn their back to me, it's going to be even more so. So let's get into these hoplites. Oh, we got Spartan Cav coming after us. Do have a favorable position there. Let's hope that that works out. Let's get my Peltis down here, and use my cavalry to run down the enemies, and I'm going to continue to kill skirmishers with my Cretan archers, because my cavalry are going to need to coordinate. Let's go ahead and start out flanking, and we're going to go into hoplite wall here.
Understood.
And I'm going to bring my Thracian Peltist around as well. Cretan archers are making short work
The men are
of
wavering.
enemy skirmishers. Oh, really? Why did the Spartan light cav just absolutely thrash my guys when I had a terrain advantage? Now my Cretans are at risk. I'm going to have to open fire over here. That was just confounding, to be honest. Confounding and annoying. And the enemy skirmishers here are working my guys over pretty badly. But these Thracian Peltists are going to make everything okay. Spartan cavalry is under Cretan archer fire, and it will die. I don't think it can beat them in melee anyway. And my light cavalry will probably take a fair number of casualties in combat. Here comes the Thracian Peltist fire from behind. That is just going to devastate the enemy units here. Okay. Let's go ahead and start running these Cretans back up to the hill. And I'm just going to continue to use my Thracian Peltist. They're not actually decimating these units nearly as bad as I feel like they should be. So let's make it worse. I'm going to pull them up right behind them. Yeah, that was a lot of javelins in the back, and these guys only lost just a pretty meager number of men there. So I'm going to let them unload again. Bring my light cavalry back around for harassment. So again, now point blank range with the Thracian Peltist behind the enemy hoplites. If this isn't effective, I don't know what will be. To be able to turn your back to Thracian Peltist and live pretty much would make them gods on earth. True sons of Ares, I guess. Nah, this has worked out pretty well, using my cheap militia hoplites to affect the rout of quite a few enemy troops. I say the rout, it hasn't happened just yet, but by the time my Thracian Peltist are finished and they rear charge these guys, that will be all she wrote. Then I'm getting the rear charge penalty here on these militia hoplites, and they should rout. And then that rear charge there ought to be pretty much all it takes to finish those guys off. So again, losing militia hoplites, not a big deal. They're easily replaced. Spartans, as expected, taking their time getting over here. Okay, light cav coming in from behind with more javelins. Thracian Peltist doing a marvelous job here. Look at that, over 100 kills on them. Those guys are absolutely brilliant. Definitely one of my favorite units in this game, in whichever campaign you participate in. Nope, you can stay over here. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, let's get all my archers lined up and ready. Start pulling all these guys back to support the flank. Light cavalry will be the fastest. Keep these Peltist over here, and the 3 damaged militia hoplites can use the Peltist for support. It's going to take my units a minute to get back over there. In the rain, it's going to take them longer to recover their stamina, and I haven't given them any time to recover their stamina either. They have their own Thracian Peltist. Those guys are going to be a ripe target for my archers. In fact, I'd prefer to go after them with my Cretan archers, but those guys are indisposed. Okay, so I think the best way to get the Spartans here is going to be to catch them with the downhill charge. So I'm going to put it into slow motion so I can coordinate this, as I'm not fast enough to really do it otherwise. So I'm going to push down, which is going to take fire time away from their javelin units. And then this will serve for a chance for me to get my archers and everything clean up into range. I will take a few javelin shots, but it should be alright in the end. Just keep pushing the flank over here. Alright, so my men are charging downwards towards the Spartans. I'm going to put it back into normal time here. My javelin men are going to get a few shots here.
Our general is under attack.
Okay. Let's take my mainline infantry here and go into hoplite wall now. So now they can easily serve as a wall. Let's get my archers to focus fire on the most dangerous units first, which would be the Thracian Peltist. And my own Cretan archers have come too far forward due to my miss micro. So I'm going to flee back through the gaps. Spartans may actually come through the gaps because I've left too many. But hopefully we can take advantage of that as well. And let's take this unit out of phalanx and get onto the flank, get these guys down here. I'm taking a lot of skirmish fire at the moment, which I deserve because I've left myself open to it. And let's see.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Same thing here, get these guys out of phalanx, come around for a rear charge. Alright, my archers have done their job so far, killing the Thracian Peltist. Let's now go after the Helot Javelinmen. And let's support my other cav units. Get these hoplites in. There we go. Looks like things are going to roll in our favor here. And again, the Helot Javelinmen going down pretty hard. Those Spartan youths do have an uphill advantage, but let's try and get into the back of this blob here with our Thracian Peltist. I think that's where they'll be most useful. Need to get away from those Royal Spartans. Okay, so my light cavalry is away, and now let's take my missiles, not them, and actually focus on the Spartan general. And we can lure the Spartan general back up closer to the fight with my cavalry, because that's what they are fixated on at the moment. And let's deliver a rear charge here just to hurt enemy morale. It will not break them, I don't believe, but we can hurt morale maybe. Again, while luring the Spartan general into a peppering spray of missile fire. Let's focus our javelins, and let's actually attack the Royal Spartans here. This little blob is not going so well for the Spartans. I've got them outflanked, and their general is taking a serious amount of fire here. Let's take these archers and actually move back over here to better position to fire at the Spartan general. And we're going to pin the Spartan general. No, we're not. We're going to have to fight these Spartan youths. Let's actually bring these militia hoplites in for a rear charge here. Yeah, the Spartan general is taking fire, but he's moved to a position where it's not as easy for me to get at him. So I'm going to start spreading my skirmishers around and see if we can get to a better position. I'm going to have to pull my light cav back out of that fight, just using them for quick harassment charges. My men are a little overwhelmed in the infantry fight right now, but the superior positioning ought to come in very handy for me. Okay, is that the unshielded flank? It is. So let's get these. No, those javelins are out of ammo, so they're not going to do me any good. Keep coming around. Mercenary Cretan archers into the back of there. Okay. These two units here don't have much ammo left, but let's fire it into the back of the Spartan general. And where are my two archers that do have ammo? Right here. Get over here quickly, please. I am losing men, and this is going to be a more painful fight for me than I would like, but I was honestly outclassed here, so just winning in general is going to be a big deal. I still have cavalry left as well. Let's see if my general has any useful abilities I haven't been paying attention to. He does. Unfortunately, let's see if we can use another Spartan youths real quick and get them out of the fight. Okay, the Spartan general is now chasing my cavalry again. It's a huge mistake.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Okay, so the Spartan general is going to be eating a lot of rear fire. Unfortunately, though, my missiles are now going to come under pressure from the Spartan youths. But this should allow me to come in here for a rear charge as well. My Thracian Peltist actually routed. They were probably exhausted, though, and I sent them uphill into the back of highly armored units.
Has used all its ammunition.
We've got to get rid of this Spartan general, and I'm going to have to get some of my skirmishers free to do it. It's kind of annoying that they're chasing me here, so let's actually make this a little more difficult for them. Okay, so let's pull back here. All these guys are out of ammo except for the ones the Spartans are chasing, unfortunately. So that, yeah, let's go ahead and commit here then. shoot these guys in the back, you shoot them as well, and you just keep running like cavalry. Make a quick rear charge on these units here in the center that are against my general, and there's no real good use for me to use Intimidate. Let's use the second wind though on those Thracian Peltas, because they probably are the most exhausted. And the Royal Spartans ought to be dying now with fewer kills than they should have gotten, that's for sure. It's taking my archers a good while to actually finish them though, and the morale on those units is extremely good. Let's just make sure they die. We're getting the startings of a rout up here in the center. Let's get these Thracian Peltasts around. And let's run another rear charge here. Okay, the Royal Spartans are gone, which means we should be able to tilt this battle. Keep my guys running away out there. Okay, we have plenty of archers left. Mercenary Thracian Peltast into the back of that mess. My general can hold out just fine against the Spartan youths, and I'm going to shoot the Spartan youths in the back, I think. Okay. Alright, so a bit of a Pyrrhic victory here, but it will be a victory. Just keep my guys moving. You all can go ahead and come down here. This Mercenary Thracian Peltas, 216 kills. Absolutely brutal. Let's wait for a Spartan unit to go red like that one there. And then we'll rear charge them too. See if we can use a combination of war cry there. Alright, so yep, we've managed to defeat the Spartans. And all they have left is this unit of Spartan youths that's chasing my mercenary Cretan archers. And that is going to be it. So, Pyrrhic, definitely painful, but a massive defeat for Sparta and Elis. They had a pretty large combination of superior forces there. They were unable to use it to cause any damage to me other than killing a unit of Cretan archers. Which, don't get me wrong, I really like that unit of Cretan archers, and it doesn't please me, but if that's the best they can do, then I'm feeling pretty good about my chances. Assaulting that uphill position despite their military superiority was going to be difficult because they lacked the mobility to keep my skirmishers in check. And you saw the kills on my Thracian Peltas, they speak for themselves. Those guys are devastating. Alright, so I had a spy recover. Okay. And let's see. We should probably just go back and retrain our men. Not a whole lot of other options we have. I'm not going to re-recruit a Cretan archer just yet, because it's just extra expense, and I have a bunch of skirmishers as it is. But we can, however, take this spy and see if we can just do some scouting. Let's see what, if anything, Elis may have in reserve, so not much. So we'll actually come back down here this time. My spy needs to continue to chase these guys here. And let's see if we can poison them. Perfect. So that'll slow them down and basically make them worthless in general. They shouldn't be able to assault Corinth and have any success. And then we can continue to chase these Spartans who now should be bottled up. I don't think there's anywhere for them to run. Well, now there will be because of the way my guys accidentally just moved there. One way or the other, we will catch them. And we will destroy them. Sparta itself is open to be sieged, but I don't want to do that just yet. I'd like to pluck away a few more Spartan holdings. I say a few, Pylos and Messenia. I'd like to destroy them first, and then focus on Sparta itself. And I have an extra army up here that's not currently needed at Thebes, so let's see if we can force march it down here to Corinthos. And yeah, this province up here is stable. It is possible that I could need an army up there again in the near future, but I think for the time being, at least, I am quite safe. But let's just go ahead and make a few moves to reallocate our forces. So yeah, that battle completed. Kythera is firmly in my control, and there's not any substantial Spartan fleets in the vicinity. We have this fleet and that fleet, but both are quite small and would probably be outmatched. And I can bring Kythera under control, especially if I go in and capture Pylos and Messenia. we should be able to stabilize public order in the vicinity, and hopefully bring the Spartans to their knees.
At your command.
That would be the aim. So we can increase the zeal there. I have a lot of money at this point, which again, I don't have a whole lot to spend it on because my research has not completed. Most of the buildings here just are not necessary, but this one is. We can add to this city here. So public order is good, food is good. So I mean, just anything else we can throw in to add to the economy. I won't be able to upgrade it probably a ton, but we'll throw in the outskirts just to get a little bit of extra income, so why not at this point. Again, everything's looking fine as far as I'm concerned. Thessalian League, these guys are still my friends, so yep, not a whole lot else for me to do on this particular turn either. I'm just going to be recuperating some of my men. Let's go ahead and send these nobles up, though, just to kind of get into good scouting positions where we can have nice line of sight on all the Spartan holdings, and then we can put them into their agent stands, screw with the Spartans a little bit further. And I think in this army, I'm going to go ahead and just leave it at Argos for one more turn. It'll really help turn around a ton of public order, and then I'm going to take it and go ahead and march into Spartan territory. I've got this other army to help cover my back, and then this one that's just hunting down Spartans as well. So I feel more than confident at this point in my ability to fight off any potential Spartan assaults, though the Boeotian League looks like they may be landing to help support Elis, which means I will probably want to move some forces back north to Thebes just in case my allies need me in that vicinity. Which they very well could. Alright. Ionian League. Looks like the Ionian League's been getting their rear handed to them by Persia. It's the latest craze in ancient Greek food. It would be rear on a platter, brought to you by Persia. Oh, that was lame. Alright, let's see, golden ratio. So we finished that research. So that must have been under mathematics, golden ratio. Yeah, so we can now build stadia and a shaft mine, which could be potentially helpful. This Odeon, Market, Civil Town, Megalopolis, all that could be helpful as well. I think we can go up to level 3 farms, if I remember right. Yes. Enamelers can help you make a lot of money, and then that boosts my tariffs as well. That could be very useful. Let's just go down this research line here. Again, I don't feel a whole lot of need to push non-military research at the moment. It looks like Macedon's sending an army my way to help in my fights. We'll pin the Spartans in from this direction. These ones are continuing to run away from me. And it's going to be quite hard to get a handle on them, to be quite honest. But if we can subvert them, they make it a little easier to slow them down. So we'll see if that works. And we'll try the same thing here.
Mischief.
Keep those guys from having as much movement. So my spy/noble is in place here. He's acting as a spy. And it is winter time, which means that campaigning is probably not going to be the best option here. I think it's going to hurt my recruitment. I don't remember what all penalties they have, and there's some attrition if I go through these mountainous passes here. This army, though, if it finishes retraining, would be able to sally out. But you know what? We'll play it Greek style here, and I'll just hold off and spend the winter, kind of saving some money and chasing down these Spartans in the lowlands. Seems like that would be perfectly wise of me at this point. Where'd the Boeotians land? They did not land, but they're thinking about it. So
What do you wish of me?
let's screw with Elis here, give them a little poisoning. We failed, but that's okay. It's not going to be the end of the world. Again, I don't think my research, well, it may have opened up new structures that would be available to me, so let's just see if there's any of those that I would wish to build. Yes, so all of these are totally worthwhile. It just gives me more wealth for absolutely no penalty, except for money. And I can afford it at the moment, so by all means, let's drop some cash. Don't necessarily want to drop tons and tons, but hey, it's not going to hurt me here to pretty much, well, you know what? I could spend it all. Is it really going to kill me? No. I'll earn it back. Make it plenty. Okay, let's go ahead and end one more turn and see if anything else of note happens, but I think I'm pretty much out of time for this episode, trying to keep it on par with my 25-minute goal here, which some of you hate, some of you like, but it is what it is. Alrighty. Definitely feeling pretty darn good about my military position. Persia is the only threat that I kind of am concerned about, but since they're not attacking me at the moment, it makes me feel confident enough that I can consolidate my holdings. We are not at war with Macedon or Epirus, nor do they feel ill towards me, which is great, because with their help, I don't see how Persia is going to overpower us. Feeling pretty confident in the Greek power as long as we're all united here. Alright. Yeah, so nothing of particular note happening there on that turn in. Kind of ended the way that we expected. All these guys retraining nicely. Cities getting their structures completed. All of that should drive my income up. Of course, it will be down, because most of my income is from subsistence, which goes down substantially in the wintertime, which some of you are mad at me because I have so much wealth from subsistence, which is understandable. I get it, but I don't know. I guess it's just the way I roll here. Heir's a hungry guy and likes to eat. So, anyway, that's all the time I have. Lame jokes aside, I will see you all back in the next episode. Heir of Carthage, signing off for now.